Hello everyone and welcome back to Python lessons on Codecademy. Today we will be continuing on with the topic on loops. Last time we covered while loops, so today we will be covering for loops. We've already used for loops in previous tasks, so this should not be something new, or at least not much new. So our first task is to make this loop print from 0 to 19 instead of from 0 to 9. I think that we've covered what range does. Range just makes a list depending on what you give it. So in this case, we're telling it that step is 1, stop is 20, and start is 0. So therefore, it's going to start at 0, print all of the numbers plus 1 till 19, and stop before 20. So it makes I each of those elements. So it makes I 0, prints I, then 2 prints 2, and so on. So let's see if this is the result that we want. Yes, it is. So let's move on. Create a for loop that prompts the user for a hobby 3 times, then appends each one to hobbies. So you can put anything in the loop, just like in a for loop, just like you can do in a while loop. Even ask for user input an infinite amount of times. I don't know how much an infinite amount of times would be in Python. I think that it crashes after a while, but we don't need it for an infinite amount of times, we just need it for 3 times. How you can make it for a specific number of times, so in this case 3 times, is using the range function again. So if you want it for 3 times, you just use range 3. So for n in range 3, because we want to do it 3 times, and this works because range 3 is made from 3 elements, so it's only going to be done 3 times. And then we assign hobby to be the raw input, so what the user inputs. Please enter the name of a hobby, of your hobby, why not? And then we want to store or append this in our hobbies list. So we want to do hobbies.append and the name of our variable. And then, just for convenience, I will print the list to see if it's correct. Save and submit. So let's do gaming. I didn't mean to spell it like that, but oh well. Computing and programming. Good, I didn't misspell those two. So I don't know why Codecademy gives a U there. It shouldn't do. I will run the same program in Python or in my Windows version of Python, and you will see that it doesn't do the same thing. So let's do the same things. I know I misspelled that again, but just to show you that even if I enter the same things, it's not going to print the U. I don't know if that's an error or what. So for now I will just ignore it, and if I find some information on that, then I will tell you. Or if you guys know what it is, then please go ahead and post in the comments. So let's move on. Add a second for loop so that each character in Word is printed one at a time. So a string is basically a list of characters, so we can treat it like a list in a for loop. So how we can do this is just say for car, and then in the variable name of the string, which in this case is Word, and we just want to print each character. That's simple. So it makes car each element in Word, so it makes car E, prints E, makes it G, prints G, again G, prints G, S, and then exclamation mark, because exclamation mark is also a character. It doesn't print just letters. So I think that's simple enough, so let's move on. Let's filter out the letter A's from our string. Do the following for each character in the phrase. So just from the number 1, step, we already have one line, which is for car in phrase, and then we want to know what we need to do. If character is an uppercase A or an lowercase a, print X instead of car. So instead of what it would normally be, which would be an A. Make sure to include the trailing comma. Okay, so it wants us to print it in one line. So there are two ways in which you can do this. One of them is if character equals uppercase A or character equals lowercase a, and then print an uppercase X, either way. Or I think the more efficient way is using the function .lower equals lowercase a. So every character is going to be converted to lowercase and be compared to a lowercase a. And when an uppercase a is converted to lowercase a, it's going to do the same thing for that uppercase a. So this also works. Either way works. And I think that this is more efficient, but I'm not 100% sure. It's what I've been told. So else we want to print what the character would normally be. So we just leave it as print car. So let's see if this works. Oh, we forgot the trailing comma. Of course. There we go. So xbird in the hx and d. So it works. It works because it makes car each character in the sentence or in the string, and then checks each character against this criteria. And if it fits the criteria, it makes it X. If it doesn't, then it just prints it like it would normally. So let's move on. Write a second for loop that goes through numbers list and prints each element squared, each on its own line. So this is also pretty simple. We just want to go through the list and for each element just square it. So I'm going to use for number in numbers and just print number to the power of 2. You can do number times number, but as I've said before, number to the power of 2 is more efficient, or times 2 is more efficient. So let's save and submit and see if it's correct. 7 squared is definitely 49, 9 squared is definitely 81, 12 squared is definitely 144. Now for the last two I couldn't tell you because I'm not that good at maths, so we will just use a calculator. And 54 times 54 is 2116, so that's correct. Then we have 99 times 99, which is 9901. So that's also correct. Sorry about this, just ignore it. So therefore, we did this program correctly, and Codecademy checked it correctly. So if you have any questions, please post them below in the comments. If you have anything else that you would like me to explain other than loops, then also please post that in the comments. Please like, subscribe, share if you like the video, dislike if you didn't like the video, and tell me what I can improve. So until next time, goodbye.